Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at if, else if and else statements. Basically we're going to have a look at else if. Okay, so you have an if statement, alright, and then you also have an else statement, alright. We know this is the regular one. So if you have a block of code or have a criteria based on the if statement, if you want it executed, you'd look at the if block, so it will execute here. However, if the condition evaluates to be false, then you have the else block and the block of code here will be executed. However, if you actually want to check multiple criteria, alright, then you'd use an else if statement. Okay, so else, it looks like this, else if. Alright, that's what it is. Now assume that I have a certain block of code, or actually a program, the practical applications of else if. I want to make a calculator that can just add two numbers. Alright, that's what I just want to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and code it. Okay, and it's a simple calculator, so the thing is that it can just plus and minus, so it can add and subtract. Okay, and the way it's gonna work is that I'm going to check if the user wants to subtract or if it wants to add. Alright, so and that's what it is. That's just two numbers I'm gonna give, and I'm gonna ask the user, do you want to add it or do you want to subtract them? So let's give it a shot. I'm gonna have an integer value called 3. Actually don't need variables, we can leave that. I just need a variable. Actually, let me just see out one thing. See out enter. I'm gonna keep it simple, so not many variables. Enter operation to perform. Alright, and I'm gonna have an integer. Actually no, not an integer. I'm gonna have a character called I don't know, just give it a letter A. Alright, I'll just call it symbol. Okay, so SYM, so it's a symbol, like plus symbol or a minus symbol. Okay, that's just what sim stands for. Now I'm gonna say cin. Okay, cin sim. So this is gonna get from the user the variable sim, SYM. Alright, now if I'm gonna check if sim is equal to plus. Alright, let me just erase that, sorry. Okay, so if it is a plus symbol, a plus character, then I'm gonna do I'm gonna add the two numbers, right? Enter operation to perform on number 4 and 8. Actually, let me just not do 4 and 8. I'm gonna make it 10 and 8. Alright, so if you want to add 10 and 8, then I'm just gonna see out a simple thing called sum is, and I'm going to say 10 plus 8. So it's gonna add the two numbers. However, if I were to say that the user, right, this is where the else if statement comes in. Sim is equal to minus. Okay, if it is equal to a minus symbol, then I'm just gonna say see out sum is, and I'm gonna minus the two numbers. And then you might wonder, why do you need to have an else? You don't actually need to have an else, but for if you think technically, and if you want to give another feature to your program, then an else would be necessary, and it will come in handy where we say assume the user didn't put a plus inside, neither did you put a subtraction inside. So if sim is not equal to plus, neither equal to minus, then we're gonna see out, we're gonna say invalid operator. So that's what it is. Alright, so let's just check this. We're gonna run this and check. So enter operation to perform on 8 and 9. So assume I come in here and I put a plus. You can see sum is 18. Alright, so it gives us 18. There's supposed to be a space here, not there, here, right? So sum is 18. Sum is 18. Now let me just run it again, and I'm going to, in this run, I'm going to put a minus, and you can say sum is 2. So 10 minus 8 is 2. However, let me just run it again, and for the last time I'm going to see if I enter in here the multiply operator. Okay, if I multiply, it's going to say invalid operator. So you can see that the else is also working. However, if I were to remove the else, then you'd see that nothing will be executed. So if I put now divide operator, so you can see that nothing runs because we don't have an else. So having an else is actually very effective in error capturing.